It feels good to say that civilization on Mars and energy extracted from asteroids is inevitable. This is thanks to private enterprise, entrepreneurs, and notably Mr. Elon Musk. What can we thank NASA for? Well, during the space race, NASA was a superpower. They put humans on the moon with only the rudiments of digital technology. But once JFK's cosmic travel goal was reached, NASA's role as a political show pony dwindled. Beyond the shuttle and into the 2000s, still a household name, there was the occasional memorable feat. But if there was no SpaceX, my original statement about Mars and asteroid energy would not be so truthful. Another frontier bearing contrast between its private and governmental variants that has great importance, more so than extraterrestrial endeavors, is education. The bulk of U.S. education is made up of the federally funded catastrophe attended by 90% of our students. Some people, homeschoolers like me, wince at the mention of public school. Public school curriculum is typically made up of a poor excuse for multiculturalism, and when you fail at multiculturalism, as did Alexander the Great, you end up with anti-culturalism, and everything becomes objectionable. Private schools are better because they typically provide teachings for specific demographics, although their gaping downside is price. Public school ends up promoting a somewhat lazier style of parenting, and that's where they get you. When parents don't care as much about the information being jammed into their child's head, it will lead to the child being stamped out and molded just the same as a dozen other children by the public thought factory. You've heard enough of the bad. Now listen to the good. The funding and effort that goes into private school is on a whole nother level. The bulk of advantages comes in the quality of students' lives, and quality of life goes way down when drugs are a part of life. And in public schools, drugs far too often are a part of life. And it's not just drugs. Crime, violence, gang involvement, all are horrific side effects of public school. My point is that the government can't do everything, and by Jove, it can't do much. The worst part is that the world is dependent on the youths of society, and the youths are dependent on the school, which is far too often dependent on the government. In the end, we can just hope that school that isn't made of government becomes more widely available, but not spread thin, because that's what causes some of the pub ed problems anyway. Some say separating church and state is common sense, but separating school and state should be more widely accepted. If it was, we might all be smarter.